Good morning, Unity of Medina. It's good to be back home, let me tell you. And happy Labor Day. Ladies, you might want to know that the Emily Post Institute actually put out a notice saying that it was legal to wear white after Labor Day. Yeah, so we're good. Notice I decided to wear white, but I'm safe because Labor Day's tomorrow. And for those of you who are football fans, How about that Ohio State game yesterday? That was awesome. 14-7 against Texas. That was incredible. Fortunately, I didn't have to worry about traffic around the shoe. It's interesting that Labor Day is, obviously the unofficial end of summer. And while we traditionally celebrate it with cookouts and campouts and trips to the beach, it really does pay tribute to the American worker and the efforts to provide a safe environment for work. And I think a lot of us forget what it was like way back when, because that movement actually ensured better pay and the outlawing of child labor. You never think of child labor in the US. We had it. So we have to remember the people that fought for those rights as well. And sometimes work can be less than satisfying, as we all know, but work gives us an opportunity to love. And I'd invite you to close your eyes for a few moments and take in these words from the Sufi poet Khalil Gibran about work and love in work. Always you have been told that work is a curse and labor a misfortune. But I say to you that when you work, you fulfill a part of Earth's furthest dream assigned to you when that dream was born. And in keeping yourself with labor, you are in truth loving life. And to love life through labor is to be intimate with life's inmost secret. And what is it to work with love? It is to weave the cloth with the threads drawn from your heart, even as if your beloved were to wear the cloth. It is to build a house with affection, even as if your beloved were to dwell in that house. It is to sow seeds with tenderness and reap the harvest with joy, even as if your beloved were to eat the fruit. It is to charge all things you fashion with the breath of your own spirit, and to know that all the blessed dead are standing about you watching. Work is love made visible. And if you cannot work with love, but only with distaste, it is better that you should leave your work and sit at the gate of the temple and take alms from those who work with joy. For if you bake bread with indifference, you bake a bitter bread that feeds the half of man's hunger. And if you grudge the crushing of the grapes, your grudge distills a poison in the wine. And if you sing as angels and love not the singing, you muffle man's ears to the voices of the day and the voices of the night. And that last line is a segue for me to say, it is time for our own singing angel, Angie, to lead us in our opening song.
And the people stood, and they were so excited. I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul. And the whole down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. Yes, it is. And the whole wide world is my home.
Thank you, Angie. Okay. I heard there's some concern about me being close to the candles with this oxygen thing. There's no danger. It's just a puffer, and the only oxygen goes right into my nose. So I'll be the first one to know if it blows up. So, but it's fine. It's okay. Welcome to Unity of Medina. Here at Unity, we affirm our core values of integrity, joy, acceptance, love, and spiritual growth. August is the power of will. Reverend Linda will now light the silver candle. As she's lighting the candle, let us affirm together our affirmation for the month for the power of will. I will move forward with confidence as I conscientiously choose each step on my path. Today's daily word is healing. The affirmation is, I use uplifting words to support my healing. A teacher asked a student to draw self-portraits surrounded by rays of sunshine and swords radiating from their hearts. The rays represented uplifting words. The swords symbolized hurtful ones. This exercise powerfully illustrates that words can heal or harm. Today, I commit to using words that affirm my divinity. I receive these sentiments into my heart, acknowledging their truth. I release any words that do not fit me. I heal myself by using words of kindness and encouragement. I will also be mindful of the way I speak to others, choosing words that soothe, strengthen, and affirm. I honor the light within everyone and help create a healthy, compassionate world. Today's passage is taken from Proverbs chapter 6, verse 20 through 22. My child, be attentive to my words. Do not let them escape from your sight. Keep them within your heart, for they are life to those who find them and healing to all flesh. Now Angie will prepare us for meditation.
There's a light that shines on forever beyond the earth, the stars and the heavens. The greatest joy in all of creation is the light that shines within the heart. Make peace, though you are restless, when you find yourself in a world that shines on forever, beyond the earth, the stars and the heavens. The greatest joy in all of creation is the light that shines within the heart.
I would invite you to settle into your chair, comfortably into your chair, and feel your feet on the ground. And invite the energy of Mother Earth up into your feet and let it move through your body, up through your legs and your torso and up the upper body and through the head, out the top of the head, and just shower down. And in the same way, invite the energy of the heavens to come down from above into your crown chakra, illuminating every cell of your body, from your head to your torso, to your legs, to your feet. And let those energies mix and mingle within your body, nurturing body and soul. If you could move your focus to the heart center and just let that energy focus in your heart for a few moments. And bring to mind those you love. And let that love energy permeate your entire body. People, places, pets, things. Let that love generate and flow through you and move out into this room. And let it move out of the building and continue. Let that energy flow throughout the entire world, bathing this planet in your love and the love of all. Take a moment now to move to your forehead, visualizing that brain beneath your skull. You have arrived at the part of the cerebellum of the brain known as the forebrain. Its physiological function is involved in the personality, your emotions, higher thinking, and voluntary movement. Take a moment to send love and appreciation to this part of your body. It serves you 24/7, automatically, no thought needed. You do not have to intentionally turn on your brain. This is the part of your brain where the power of will resides. Your ability to choose, to lead, to decide. Watch as that gray color of the physiological brain turns to an energetic silver as you send love and an appreciation to the seat of power of your will. Imprint the affirmation, "I choose my good," based on spiritual understanding, on your forebrain. And visualize seeing that imprint every time you look in the mirror. Know that this affirmation is also an intent. Every time you make a choice or decision, you have set in motion the energy of intending to have that choice be only for your good, based on your spiritual understanding. As your spiritual understanding expands, so too does your intent. Take a moment now to sit in gratitude for the amazing being that you are and the good choices you make. For your thoughts are things, and you are creating good. Acknowledge yourself and take a moment now to sit in gratitude of who you are and all you are. I would invite you now to take 3 long, slow breaths in and out through your nose. Feel your feet on the floor and slowly come back to this time and place with Angie's music. So be it with love. Amen. Thank you, Angie. It's always hard to try to get up and follow you, let me tell you. I'd rather just sit there and listen. But that's not what I'm here for, so we're going to have to leave the concert aside. When Bryn was little, we took a car trip to Florida, and our new green Dodge minivan was almost as new as our daughter. And back in the day, those video screens that are very prolific in vans now did not exist. So we had a small TV balanced on a small table between the 2 front bucket seats. And it plugged into a cigarette lighter, which you also don't find in vans nowadays. And it played videos. You might remember those big clunky things that we had to rewind before we took them back to Blockbuster. And for most of that 1,800-mile round trip, that little TV played Barney and Aladdin on repeat. And like most parents in the day, the purple dinosaur drove me nuts. But Aladdin was another story. I actually loved Aladdin when I was a kid, and I still love it today. And we can all fantasize about what we would do with 3 wishes. But the kernels of wisdom that were tucked into Robin Williams's genie were wonderful. And the one that stays with me, and it repeats itself frequently in my life and often every day, is this: things aren't always as they seem. And in many ways, it's actually become a mantra of mine. So let me recap some of the scenes in the movie, if you've forgotten it, where things were not always as they seemed. Jafar, the movie bad guy, was disguised as an old man, something he was not. And he made a deal with Aladdin to get him out of prison. And it wasn't from the goodness of his evil heart. The old lamp, which looked like junk, something that it wasn't, was the home to the genie and 3 wishes. And Aladdin himself, as a pauper, something he was not. He was much more than what he appeared to be. And we see throughout the movie several times that things are not always as they seem. And if you miss it in the movie, the narrator will state that. And the depth of that line fills me with awe. In the movie, that line always foreshadows a positive resolution to a challenging situation. And in today's environment, it can give us hope of better days to come. But this kernel of wisdom, that things are not always as they seem, reaches way back in history. It's in the Old Testament, it's in the New Testament. Several schools within Chinese philosophy refer to challenging our perceptions of reality, of knowledge, and even of ourselves. Buddhism, Confucianism, Taoism, Islam too, speak of the idea that things are not always as they seem. So, what is reality? Reality is as varied as the person describing it. Each of us is a unique individual. How could it not be? Our perception of reality is the combination of physiology, psychology, family, education, experiences, beliefs, and probably the kitchen sink. This is a story that I love, and I've probably told it before, and it's one of the few jokes that I remember, but it kind of gives this things are not always as it seem a platform. And in the midst of a deluge, the EMS comes to the good God-fearing Christian man and invites him to evacuate because his house will soon flood. And the man says, well, I believe the Lord will save me, and if my house actually floods, I will be saved. So a couple of hours later, the water's up to the ceiling on the first floor, and the man's dangling out the second floor, and people come by with a rowboat, and they beg the man to come into the rowboat. No, the Lord's going to save me. Thank you. Have a good trip. And then a couple hours later, the man's on the roof of his house. And a helicopter comes by, drops a hoist, begs the man to get in. No, the Lord's going to save me. Save your fuel. Go get somebody else. 10 minutes later, the man's at the pearly gates. And he meets the Lord. And the first thing he says to the Lord is, Lord, why didn't you save me? And the Lord sighs and goes, I sent you the EMS. I sent you a rowboat. I even sent you a helicopter. Why didn't you take any of them? Well, one could say that that man needed to expand his perceptual lens. And let me define that for you. I'm going to quote from Elizabeth Lyle in a 2018 post, and she has a wonderful definition of perceptual lens. And she says, a person's lens of perception is the filter through which they see the world. Shifts in one's personal lens can lead to different views and different understandings of reality, which in turn can influence what is seen and ways of relating to the world. It is possible always to increase or decrease the power of the lens. A person's lens expands its range in the presence of new ideas, feelings, and experiences. And this is always in flux. So if we stop having new experiences, thereby living in an automatic pilot mode, our lens becomes fixed and hardens and shrinks. My craniosacral mentor used to always tell us to broaden your perceptual lens. She knew that when we were working with subtle body work, that it requires one to step beyond what we had heard previously and what we experienced as we learned to feel the body and listen to the body in a totally different way. And feeling the body's energy and facilitating changes to that introduces one to a world that for many remain hidden. And that is another instance of where the world around us is not always as it seems. In the book, An Immense World, Pulitzer Prize winner Ed Young describes how animals sense and reveal the hidden world around us. And believe me, there is a hidden world. In a wonderful passage, Young asks us to picture a human, who he calls Rebecca, in a room with an elephant, a mouse, an owl, a bat, a rattlesnake, a spider, a mosquito, and a bee. Picture that. If you want to put yourself in there, go for it. Just keep the rattlesnakes away from me. He describes how Rebecca and this collected menagerie might actually perceive one another. And the elephant, the rattlesnake, and the mosquito are smelling the space and taking in the floating scents. The elephant doesn't smell anything particularly of note. The rattlesnake detects the mouse and coils. The mosquito smells the carbon dioxide on Rebecca's arm, lands on her arm, and she swats it away. The swat disturbs the mouse, and the mouse squeaks an alarm at a pitch that is audible to the bat, but is too high for the elephant to hear. The elephant unleashes a deep, thunderous rumble, too low-pitched for the mouse or the bat, but it's felt by the vibration-sensitive belly of the rattlesnake. Rebecca does not hear the ultrasonic mouse squeaks or the infrasonic elephant rumbles. She listens to the robin, but her hearing is too slow to pick out the complexities that the bird encodes in its tune. Rebecca sees the robin's chest as red. The elephant only sees in hues of blue and yellow. Think of that the next time you go to the zoo. A bumblebee can only see ultraviolet hues, like the ultraviolet bullseye in the center of the sunflower. The bird sees the same thing. Rebecca, whose eyes are the sharpest in that room, sees only the yellow sunflower, but she is the only one that can see the spider in its web. In the dark, the mouse looks for obstacles with its whiskers, and Rebecca with her hand outstretched. The sensitive ears of the owl hear the mouse move. The rattlesnake is also aware of the mouse moving because it senses infrared radiation from warm objects. The spider's world is limited to vibrations off its web only, so it feels the mosquito that lands in its web. However, the bat's sensitivity to high-frequency waves off that web make the mosquito an easy target. Meanwhile, the robin can feel the Earth's magnetic field and guided by its internal compass and the changing weather, flies out the window and heads south. These 7 creatures share the same physical space, but they experience it in wildly and wonderfully different ways. And the same is true for the billions of animals on this planet and the individuals within each species. Jung says, as an example, look at us humans. He says, for some people, red and green look the same. For others, body odor smells like vanilla. And still others, coriander tastes like soap. Every animal, including we humans, can only tap into a small fraction of reality's fullness. We perceive only a tiny sliver of an immense world. This passage also speaks to the unity in all life and not just human life. We perceive each other and we interact with each other across species, albeit in various different ways. Things are not always as they seem. And that is just the physical world. We also inhabit a metaphysical and an energetic world. We have 5 physical senses, but we have corresponding paranormal senses as well that we develop to different abilities. We have all experienced knowing who's on that phone before you look at your phone. We've all been able to find a parking space, and we've all acted on that gut feeling. Spiritualists and spiritual science churches, among others, train their ministers to develop paranormal abilities. And the term extrasensory perception is very common nowadays, like as in clairvoyance, the ability to see in the future, or clairaudience, the ability to sense or feel and hear beyond the normal hearing range. Clairsentience is the ability to feel information, often on an energetic or an emotional level. And some might call these senses intuition or listening to the inner voice. Other paranormal abilities include telekinesis and telepathy, mediumship and psychometry, and we've all heard these words. A form of mediumship is channeling. And in its broadest sense, channeling is nothing more than opening up to information that is beyond our 3D physical world. Unity's Reverend Ellen Davenport hosted a talk with Christine M. Bush, and she is the author of a book called Understanding Your Soul, The Channeled Wisdom of Jesus. I listened to that program, and of course, I bought the book, and it happens to have a chapter entitled, How Do You Perceive the World Around You? Imagine that, just when I'm doing a talk on perception. This book lands in my hand. I'd like to share some of the information that was channeled by Bush from Jesus. And the information, whether you believe in channeling or not, may sound familiar to you, or it may broaden your perceptual lens. So we are in the physical world for a reason, Bush says to start the chapter. You are confined by your conscious mind that is programmed to see physical reality as being true. This allows you to focus on your current incarnation, to face the challenges before you, and to have the free will to decide how to react. We have the free will to create the life we need, she says, through Jesus, not the life we want. And we execute that free will first through thought. And what more is thought than energy? It has no physical reality. It is your conscious mind, through its physical properties, creating an energetic force that goes out into the universe. The more emotion behind this force, the more intent behind this force, the stronger it becomes. The stronger it becomes, the more it can change the energies around it. And this basically is a definition of manifestation. Thoughts are even more powerful when they are sent out by multiple individuals at the same time. So now I am going to plug the upcoming Unity Day of Prayer, because that's exactly what we're talking about then. As you begin to view your world as energy flowing at different rates, your perspective greatly changes. All that is open to energy is open to your world. All is possible. All that exists can be changed by redirecting energy. The ability to redirect energy so that visible change occurs is not natural to our conscious minds. Remember, your conscious mind is programmed to see only physical reality. Your senses perceive only physical reality. And this is what I thought was fascinating that Bush said, but it is your connection to your soul that brings understanding of the energetic reality and the openness and the ability to change it. It is through connecting through your soul and changing how you perceive the world that will change your life, she says. Spirituality is not about sitting and meditating and connecting to your soul and then doing nothing but talk about what you've experienced. Spirituality is about connecting to your soul and then actively going forth to spread love and advocate for what you believe in. Our world is in transition. Our purpose in this transition, according to the information channeled, is first to do what is necessary to expand your own energy, to act in love, to advocate for equality, kindness, tolerance, inclusion. Let your soul lead you. Do not be deceived by your conscious mind. Care for others and for your world. Model what a true spiritual life is. Teach others by your example, not your words, and lay the groundwork for those yet to come. It would be hard to argue with any of these actions. They are certainly aligned with our unity principles. So, what steps can we take to broaden our perceptual lens and to connect to our souls? Let me suggest a few things that you might want to try, and feel free to expand. 1, there's physical and metaphysical study. You can try a new podcast or go to the library and pick up a book in a genre that you normally don't read. And then you can look for the message, the spiritual message in there, because they are everywhere, even Disney movies. 2, experience new things. Go somewhere in Medina you've never been. 3, live a life of service. And service doesn't have to be organized. We can serve our families, our communities, our world in many different ways. We can serve this church. 4, meditate, and there's no explanation needed there, but I would suggest trying an online meditation group, such as Heart Math, where you can combine with others. 5, perform acts of kindness. A little smile to a stranger can work wonders. 6, learn to love. It's an ongoing process that starts with getting in touch with your heart. 7, be peace. Don't aim for being peace 24/7. Recognize and enlarge the moments that you know you are at peace. 8, provide compassion. A touch or word or handwritten card can be compassion in action. 9, live non-judgmentally. Acknowledge you are not in the other person's shoes. 10, acknowledge that we all experience life through our individual perceptive lenses. The Daily Word from December 3rd, 2021 speaks to the advantages of expanding our perceptual lenses, although not in those terms. This is my favorite daily word, and the title is reach, and the affirmation is, I reach for a fuller experience of life. My life expands each time I extend my heart, my hand, or my awareness in new directions to further my growth. I enrich my soul and evolve my consciousness when I open myself to fresh experiences. From making friends to visiting unfamiliar places, life is richer when I take it in bold directions. Centering in the awareness of spirit, I discern my next step along the path. I wonder where I will be called to go and how I may be of service along the way. Knowing I am divinely guided and inspired, I have faith that I will find the perfect circumstances that allow my life to blossom into its fullest expression. I can't wait to discover which new and exciting adventures are in store for me when I reach for them. We have so many opportunities available to us. It just takes will. I would invite you to experiment and try a new experience this week. And if you chose to do so, I'd also invite you to place an intent to expand your perceptual lens with your chosen activity. And if you want to add an affirmation, all the better. And if necessary, make an appointment with your eye doctor. Thank you, and God bless.
That was really cool. I picked a song that I think ties into that. It's kind of about ego death, recognizing the illusions of the mind and then surrendering to the thing that we actually are. So I'm calling it trust fall. I think, I don't know. It's kind of like surrendering to this to that that space.
When everything you knew surrender to this.
Thank you, Angie. That was beautiful. I'm always inspired. Thank you. And Linda, thank you for that message. One of the best life lessons I learned is not to always let my perception be my reality, because sometimes I'm way off base. So anyway, I have some announcements for today. July finances. Income $5,241.60. Expenses $8,038.20. That's a minus $2,796.60. Thank you for your continued support and generosity and support of Unity of Medina. We affirm abundance in all areas of our lives and trust in the infinite source. For September 5th is First Friday Fellowship. That's something that's new, 6 to 9 p.m. Join us for our new monthly gathering. Bring your questions for the minister. Enjoy a warm cup of coffee or tea. Share a laugh, a thought, or a game with friends old and new. It's time to connect, relax, and be in community. All are welcome. World Day of Prayer is the second Thursday of September. We have 2 opportunities to join Unity churches around the world in prayer and meditation. On Wednesday, September 10th at 7 p.m., we will hold a prayer service followed by streaming of the Unity Village opening ceremony at 8 p.m. Thursday, September the 11th, we will hold a silent prayer vigil from 6 to 8 p.m. All are welcome to participate. Unity is having a homecoming celebration on Sunday, October 12th. Stay tuned for more information. Reverend Michelle will hold a meeting after church on Sunday, September 7th, for all who wish to volunteer in some capacity. We can use some volunteers for different things we have to do around here. Please attend even if you have not signed up yet, but are thinking about it. We will go over scheduling needs. Be sure to watch for upcoming classes and activities in the newsletter and on the website. And now, Reverend Linda will lead us in blessing one another and any guests that are here with us today.
Do we have any guests here for today? No, everybody's homegrown. Great. So let's bless each other. We bless you. We appreciate you. We behold the Christ in you. Thank you for being here. Okay. We've got the offertory prayer. And this is our time to offer up our love, our tithes, our offerings, and our good wishes. And maybe our volunteerism too. The intent to volunteer, those are certainly welcome too. So you can join me as we say, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and we are grateful.
We take all that we are and all that we have, and then we circulate. We take the gifts that God gives and the love that we live, and then we circulate. We look around and we share to show others we care, to extend God's plan of love, to be all that we are, to share all that we have. We circulate. We take all that we are and all that we have, and then we circulate. We take the gifts that God gives and the love that we live, and then we circulate. We look around and we share to show others we care, to extend God's plan of love, to be all that we are, to share all that we have. We circulate.
And now it's time for us to join our prayers with those requests in the prayer box. We know that we need but ask, and it is given to us. And we are grateful for the healing that is occurring to those requests and the requester. And for our earth, we know we are not the only ones on this planet. And we know there are challenges. And we intend to send our love to all creation on this planet, and to see the planet whole and healed, and ourselves whole and healed. And for the donations, we thank the gift and the giver, and know that all will be blessed with abundance, and that these funds will multiply and provide for all that is needed. And we thank you, God, for all of these blessings. So be it. And now, I think we're ready for the prayer for protection. Oh, no, we're not. No, Unity of Columbus does that. Sorry. I can't get used to that. Wrong church. Okay, now we're ready for the peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as Creator. United all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let Love